Army General John Spencer, Chair of Urban Warfare Studies at the Modern War Institute. General, thanks so much for joining us. So you've been following this minute by minute. Former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, John Bolton, told me yesterday that he saw several options for Israel in terms of responding to Iran that might deter Iran from further attacks. Take a listen to former Ambassador Bolton.
To start by flattening Iran's air defense capabilities. Next, you might go after headquarters of the regular military and the Revolutionary Guard. You could consider going after their oil infrastructure, the oil fields, the distribution pipelines, the export port facilities. And most importantly, I think Israel should be looking at this as an opportunity to destroy Iran's nuclear weapons program, which is the existential threat that Israel faces.
Is that realistic? Are those decent ideas for how Israel could retaliate, in your view?
Hey, Jake, thanks for having me. And just to clarify, it's Major. Not General yet.
Sorry.
That's okay.
In our view, in our mind, you're a general.
I'm sure. Thank you. All those things are, of course, possibilities. I don't think, and one, you have to recognize the historic attack that was done with the drones, the missiles onto Israel, and that it has to be a comprehensive reestablishment of deterrence. So it's not just tit for tat, although Iran clearly escalated this many rungs up the basically escalation ladder in comparison to what everybody thinks the reasons that it happened. It has to be a comprehensive. I'm not saying any of those things aren't, but that's Israel's decision.
The Institute for the Study of War notes that Iran's approach was modeled after the way Russia strikes Ukraine. And, quote, Ukrainian air defenses have averaged interception rates of only about 16% of Russian ballistic missiles during recent large strikes. The Iranians likely expected that Israeli rates would be higher than the Ukrainian rates, but not above 90%, unquote. Are you surprised that the Iranians, at least according to this analysis, seem to have underestimated Israel and Israel's allies so significantly?
No, I'm not surprised at all. This is a sign of Iranian power and the lack thereof. But I also don't want to discount just because it's 99%, and I'm proud of the United States for assisting Jordan and others since Iran did violate many countries' airspace. But it was their intentions of what they were trying to do, yes, in modeling a multi-wave attack, and people somehow trying to make that seem like they didn't mean to cause harm. And even this morning, the White House said, no, they wanted to do a lot of destruction and cause a lot of casualties. Just because they weren't successful doesn't mean they didn't intend to.
I also want your take on this delay for the Rafah ground offensive. Israel is weighing the response to Iran's attack, but obviously they still have their goals of getting back their hostages from Gaza and defeating Hamas to the extent they can. Sources are telling CNN that the Israeli Air Force planned on dropping leaflets in the densely populated city as soon as today. Do you think a delay is the right move?
I mean, I'm sure there are many factors, to include everybody discounting the fact that Hezbollah attacks daily in the north of Israel, and that does take resources. And there are over 100,000 Israeli citizens who can't go home. I think Israel will conduct the Rafah operation when they feel the time is right and they're able to successfully move civilians out of harm's way, but also deal with things as nations attacking them. So I don't know if they're delayed or not, or whether that's a good decision, but I do believe strongly that the job has to be finished. Hamas has to be destroyed and the hostages have to be brought home. But the way it's done does matter.
All right, Major John Spencer, thank you so much. Appreciate it.